This is my understanding of Allure Five Nights with Froggy. First off, Five Nights with Froggy is a Five Nights at Freddy's fan game. The man who came up with the idea is Artyom Shekerdin, and it was then developed by Gleb Kapustin. The order in which the games are in is the fourth, then the first, then the third, then the second. The story starts that once, in 1976, in the glorious palace of Froggle I, a terrible event happened. It all started with the fact that the wife of Froggle I, the palace queen, lost her pink cat slipper. It was such a memory of her childhood that the queen fell into depression. Despite the consolations of her husband, she nervously drove him to his room. Froggle, sitting down at the table, could not stand such. He was so kind to his wife, the queen, but she didn't care. Angered at everything, the king tore the first thing that fell under his arm and threw the scraps into the open window. After that, serious consequences followed. The toys of King Froggle I came to life, but due to this, he had a heart attack. The events of the second game take place in 2004 and tell how an ordinary Prague resident, Thomas Rammers, decides to get a night shift security guard job in a certain fairy kingdom which belongs to rich Lord King Froggle II. Before Thomas, a man called Daniel was the night guard. When he got attacked by Froggy, he shot Froggy's eye out. Back to Thomas, he needs to survive Froggy, Kitty, the three gnomes, and a new toy called Croco. On Friday, the king's loyal servant, called Lorenzi, gets killed by Froggy, leading to you having to stay for 2 more nights. While this is going on, vandals have blown up the palace, leading to King Froggle II leaving Prague and moving to Germany to live with his cousin, Sungold. Now in Germany, he went to a motel to stay a night before continuing with his travels. He did not know that the toys had hidden in his suitcase. Now is when Five Nights with Froggy 3 begins. You play as Froggle II and you have to survive in your hotel against the toys. The toys end up giving up and return to Prague. It takes them 3 years to do so. The toys return to see what happened to the palace. Now is when the second game comes into play. The palace has been rebuilt into a theater. A new night guard, called Burton, shows up and has to survive 5 nights with the original toys and some new theater toys. On Friday, he has a vision of Lorenzi as a ghost. At the start of Friday, Burton is shown to be one of the vandals, but abandoned the plan at the last minute. Then this crazy drunk bastard blows up the palace, and Burton goes to hell, where he will have to suffer with the toys for eternity.